All right. Well, hey, friends, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe and healthy. Hey, I'm back with another couple chapters of Eerie Elementary this morning. So, just a little recap to think about what we've already read about. So, they're planning on doing the science fair, and then there's an earthquake in the school, and Miss Grinker is trying to do this science fair, and Mr. Nicobe tries to remind her about last time they had a science fair planned, and seems like some bad things happened then too. So then they were in the library, and this book was flying around, and it was pitch black, and they finally caught the book, but like a dictionary explodes. So some interesting things going on here. So chapter 6 is called "The Mystery of the Book." So we'll start there. All right. Sam looked at the clock. It was 8:05 a.m. They had 20 minutes before hall monitor duty began. "Do you think the book will fly away again?" Antonio asked. "No," Sam said. "I think the chase drained the school's energy, at least for now." Sam opened the book to the first page. The friends leaned closer to read the handwritten words inside. "I donate this book to the school I designed. This was my favorite science book as a child. It inspired me for many years. Maybe someday it will inspire the students of Eerie Elementary. Signed, Orson Eerie." Here's a little picture of that. So it looks like Orson Eerie wrote those words in this book. Sam's heart began to pound. "This book was given to the school by Orson Eerie," he said. "This book belonged to Orson Eerie." Clang! The friends jumped as the door banged open. Mr. Nicobe rushed in. "I heard strange noises," he said. "Mr. Nicobe," Sam exclaimed, "you have to see this." Sam pushed the ancient book across the table. Mr. Nicobe took a deep breath. "Strange Science Experiments to Dazzle and Amaze," he said, reading the title aloud. "I haven't seen this book in years." "It used to belong to Orson Eerie," Sam said. Mr. Nicobe sighed deeply. "I know. A student used it to find a project for the last science fair 7 years ago." Here's a picture of Mr. Nicobe talking with the kids. So somebody used this book 7 years ago for their experiment. "We heard the last fair was a disaster. What happened?" Lucy asked. "Was Eerie Elementary trying to feed on the students?" "No," Mr. Nicobe said. "That's what was so strange. The school just began destroying things. It was a miracle that no one was hurt. There was only one thing missing when the fair ended." "What?" Sam asked. Mr. Nicobe handed the book back to Sam. In a very serious tone, he said, "This book." And just like that, Mr. Nicobe turned away. He began cleaning up the scattered books. Sam ran his hand through his hair. He thought and thought, but he couldn't make sense of Orson Eerie's note. "So, we know Orson donated this book," Sam said. "But why doesn't he want us to have it? What's in here that he doesn't want us to see?" "And why was there a weird earthquake yesterday?" Antonio added. "Was there an earthquake? Was that a warning from Orson?" Lucy wondered. "A warning that the science fair shouldn't happen?" "Maybe," Sam replied, "but this doesn't feel like the other times we've battled Orson. This one feels different." He looked down at the book. "There must be something in here. Something Orson Eerie doesn't want anyone to read, ever. We just need to find out what it is." Here's a couple more pictures. Chapter 7 is called Sam's Big Choice. Over the next few days, Sam and his friends read Strange Science Experiments to Dazzle and Amaze from cover to cover. They searched every inch of every page. They hunted for hidden messages or secret notes. But there was nothing. They saw nothing that would explain why Orson Eerie would want this book all to himself. "Coming, guys," Sam shouted. It was Friday morning, and Antonio and Lucy were outside Sam's house. They were waiting for him so they could all walk to school together. "Happy Friday, buddy," Antonio said. Sam stopped in his tracks. "Oh no, I totally forgot. It's Friday," Sam exclaimed. "Today is the day we have to tell Miss Grinker what projects we're doing." Well, that doesn't sound good. Sounds like he doesn't know what project he's doing yet. Lucy and Antonio looked at each other. Lucy said, "But the only science book we borrowed from the library is Strange Science Experiments to Dazzle and Amaze." "We'll have to choose our projects from that book," Antonio said. "I'm not sure this is the best idea," thought Sam. But it was the only choice. Sam knew Miss Grinker would ask for their choices as soon as class began. He hung his head and trudged back inside. Moments later, he returned with the book. The friends took a seat on the front steps, and Antonio carefully turned the book's crinkly pages. "Hey, I'll do this one," Antonio said, pointing to Weather Wonders, Hot and Cold. He turned the pages. Lucy's eyes lit up when she saw a project titled Making Invisible Ink with Lemon Juice. "I'm doing that," Lucy said. "I'll bet some of you guys would like doing that too." Antonio groaned. "Aw, man, invisible ink? That's awesome spy stuff." Lucy laughed. "Well, it's mine now." "Well, Sam," Antonio said, "what project will you pick?" He passed the book to Sam. I'm wondering what Sam's going to pick from the book. I like the invisible ink one. I think some of you guys have had invisible ink pens in class before. I'm not saying any names, though. Sam didn't respond. He was focused on the ancient yellow pages. "I can't believe I'm reading the same book that Orson Eerie read," Sam thought. "My fingers are turning the same pages that Orson's fingers turned over 100 years ago." Sam hated holding that book. It felt like Orson Eerie was reading over his shoulder, and the feeling made Sam's skin crawl. A single experiment caught Sam's eye. It was circled in faded pen, and there was a star next to it. "This is the project I messed up in class last week," Sam said. Lucy pointed to the star. "It looks like it was Orson's favorite." Sam wondered what would happen if he performed Orson Eerie's favorite project at Eerie Elementary. It didn't sound like the note on the first page of the book had been written by a crazy mad scientist. Maybe Orson Eerie hadn't always been evil? Maybe Orson Eerie would be happy to see someone using his favorite book? Sam clapped the book shut. "I'll do it. I'll do the baking soda volcano." And with that, Sam placed the book back inside his house. He wouldn't bring the book to Eerie Elementary. He couldn't risk the school stealing it back. Oh, here's a couple pictures there too. So you can see the baking soda volcano. That's the one that sounds like Orson Eerie did too. And now he's going to do the same one. Interesting. As Sam and his friends walked to school, Sam kept thinking about the experiment. He chose the baking soda volcano project because he wanted to prove to himself that he could do it. But he also chose it because he hoped it would give him a chance to please Orson Eerie and to keep everyone safe. Sam just had to get the experiment right this time. Here's a picture of them walking to school. And hey, that wraps up today's Read Aloud. So tomorrow we get to read Chapter 8, which is The Science Fair Begins. So I'm excited to read that to you guys tomorrow. So hey, thanks for tuning in. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Miss you guys. See ya.